Hi, my name is Bob Taylor, and I'm your host for this segment of Our Ventura TV. I'm here today with my guest, Benay Cain from American Cancer Society. Benay is an events coordinator for Relay for Life. Good afternoon, Benay.
Hi.
Thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you.
Okay, American Cancer Society Relay for Life. Let's talk about the relay.
Okay.
You're an events coordinator.
I am.
So what is it you do?
I actually am in charge of the overall arching gathering of the volunteers to coordinate and plan one of the events within the community.
Okay, now what is the Relay for Life? Let's start with that.
It's the signature fundraising event for American Cancer Society. That the actual event itself is a 24-hour, 6 to 24-hour event where we all come together and walk, where somebody on the team walks. The goal is to walk, okay? But it's pretty much a year-long event because you try to gather your funds throughout the year to meet certain goals that you set for yourself and that meet the goals of the community that we set. And then we all come together at the event to celebrate the survivors, to memorialize those that we've lost, and also to support those that are going through cancer at the time.
You know, you said something that, first question I come up with, 24-hour walk. So you put together a team and somebody's always walking for those 24 hours?
The goal is to actually have somebody on the team on the track for the 24 hours. It's just a goal. They don't have to be.
I would need a team of 24 people to do that. I'm not that much
of a walker.
Some people
do. Some people do. But it's really just the goal. We have some teams that they're only there for a couple of hours. We have other teams that they will do the fundraising and then they're not there at the event at all. Then we have other teams where there's somebody on that track, literally the whole 24 hours. Some of them will actually schedule who's going to be on the track.
Oh, I see.
Other
Okay.
teams, it's just, hey, I'll take it this time. And then there's others that they'll have 5 and 6 different people on the track.
So each team has a goal of what they want to raise
Yes.
to donate to American Cancer Society.
Right. There's a suggested goal of $100 per person and $1,000 per team. My team, we always go beyond that. We always set our goals higher.
Now, I'm sure there's some people, teams, whether it's kids or adults, that would really want to help but really can't afford to raise that. You could still...
They still participate.
Okay, great.
Like I said, it's just a goal. And we actually help them try to raise the funds that they need to do.
Oh, that's great. Okay, so you said it's a yearly thing. And it's all over the place? I mean, it's not just Ventura County, it's
actually international. There's 20 countries.
Wow.
And then there's actually 5,200 communities that participate in Relay for Life.
Okay, now you also said at the beginning it's 6 to 24 hours. Some of them are
Some
shorter
of them
than...
are only 6 hours, and then some of them are 24 hours. Most of them in our communities are 24 hours. But they're actually at the colleges, they're usually around anywhere from 6 to 12 hours. There's a few of them that are now venturing out trying to do the full 24.
So teams actually come out and spend the full 24, kind of live there, take naps, the whole ball of wax?
Some of them don't even take naps.
Some of them just go out there and party hardy as they walk around the track and that kind of thing?
We try to make sure there's all kinds of activities to help keep everybody awake. We have different ceremonies. We have theme laps. There's bands during the day. Of course, we don't have it as noisy during the evenings or in the middle of the nights, but we do have various activities all the way through.
So you have not just a track for people to walk on, you also have things for the other people that are part of the team, or if they got to bring their kids or something for them to do.
Right. And they're allowed to bring tents. There's usually movies. There's a kids camp. usually at each one of them for the kids to have different activities so the parents can still concentrate on the walking and stuff, but still have someplace safe for the kids to go and
Do you have
enjoy.
vendors, food vendors of any kind?
Yes,
Or that kind of
yes,
thing?
there's always food vendors. We try to make sure that folks don't have to leave the areas to eat. We usually make sure that there's food vendors for at least the lunch, the dinner, and then usually midnight snacks are brought in.
Okay. Now you talked about being an all-year event.
Yes,
So if you have, how many did you say you had? 5,200?
there's 5,200 communities that participate.
And they do it all different times throughout the course of the year?
Yes, yeah,
And your job, even if you're only working on one, is still all year long?
it is. As soon as we finish with one event, which the event itself is not the end, we still have our closing events where we do our appreciation event where we bring in everybody that from our sponsors to the teams to show our appreciation for their participation. And then we also have the planning right after that to start for the following year.
So then that's when you got to start putting things together again for the following
Right.
year. Okay, so everybody out there is volunteers doing this.
Right.
Okay, now let's say, what would you say, and there's 5,200 of them, I know you don't keep track of all of them. What would you say is an average turnout for walkers? 100, 200?
For the smaller communities, it's probably about 100. The average is probably 250 to 300.
Okay, well let's just use a middle number. Let's just use 200. You got 200 volunteers to start with out there walking.
Right.
They have to have support.
Right.
They have to have people like yourself. You're a volunteer for
Right.
American Cancer Society.
Right.
You're not a paid person.
No, I'm
You're
not.
strictly a volunteer. How many volunteers does it take to put on that one event? Not all 5,200 combined, just the one community
Well, you
event.
have your leadership team that actually does the coordination and planning, which is usually between 20 to 30 people. Then you have your team captains. So depending on how many teams you have, we always like to shoot for anywhere from 30 to 50 teams. Then you have all the members of the teams. So the average is 5 to 7 team members.
You're talking
And then you
1,000
got your
volunteers for the day.
sponsors. Exactly. Really, it takes the whole community,
Oh,
the
that's
whole
good. That's
city
good.
to be involved. Because you also have your sponsors, your vendors, your donation, those that are donating. It takes all of them.
Now, everybody knows the American Cancer Society.
Yes.
Nobody can say I've never heard of them. How do you get face-to-face with people to ask for funds? Is it just grassroots, door-to-door?
Some of it is door to door. We've actually done parades. We've gone to a lot of the community events and handed flyers out. We've gone through Facebook. We've gone through our own personal families, sent letters out. Any way, every way that we can get the word out.
Teams that come aboard, do teams stay for a while? I mean, everybody's got some kind of passion. You can't just go talk somebody into going doing this for 24 hours unless they have a reason they want to do it.
Right.
So do they just stick around for a while or more than 1 year generally?
Most of the teams do. My team has been together since 2010.
Okay, so that's quite a while.
But there's been teams that have been together way longer than that, and just in the ones that I've participated in.
So you can almost watch people grow up out there. As the longer
We
you're in it, the
have.
more you're going to see them grow up.
We have.
Oh, that's got to be a great thing. Now, I heard last year, at least in the Camarillo, you had a surprise guest.
We did. We had Batman and Robin show up.
No, that's got to be great. I mean, that had to be good for the kids that were there and for the parents.
Oh, it was. It was. They were just so. They brought the kids, the faces on those kids. It just brought just big smiles to their face.
Okay. Okay. Now, knowing how many volunteers it takes, and knowing that you got to start today for an event a year from now,
Right.
even, how do people get involved that that are watching this now, where can you send them? Phone numbers, emails, or?
Well, the best place to start is to go online to www.cancer.org. They can learn anything and everything they want to learn about American Cancer Society. They can get directly to any Relay for Life in the area by clicking on the button that says learn more about Relay for Life, and then it'll ask for the zip code, and it'll tell them all the ones in the area, including the Bark for Lives, which includes the dogs.
Oh, how cute is that? How cute is that? So they do the same kind of walk thing with the dog, or?
It's similar. It's usually about 3 or 4 hours, and it's actually to honor our favorite caregivers, because everybody knows a dog basically, they're unconditional love.
Oh, it sure is. I mean,
there's nothing warmer than to hug on a dog when you're upset,
Dogs and babies.
Exactly.
Once they get to be a couple years old, the babies are not quite the same
Right.
as the dogs are.
Right.
So
And it's also to bring awareness that it's not just people that get cancer.
now, so cancer.org. So people can, not just for Relay, but they can go and check on any of the fundraisers you're doing and about any kind of help they may need.
Right, because there's all kinds of programs that we fund through the Relay for Life. Basically, the funds that we collect, they fund all these programs, not just research.
Right, okay. So if anybody once somebody knows they have cancer, the first thing they should probably do is looking for help of any kind, because I'm sure
Right.
anybody that hears cancer, I know in my family when we heard cancer, we're looking, okay, who do we talk to? Where do we get
Right.
help? So
Right.
that'd be where you'd send them.
Right,
to
and
start
it's
out with.
not just the person dealing with the cancer, their family members, their loved ones, they need to go there too, because there's support for them too.
Now, it seems to me, 25, 30 years ago, you'd hear the term cancer every now and again. Now, cancer has touched everybody. I don't know anybody out there that doesn't know somebody who has passed away or something. I don't know if our population is just bigger or cancer is getting more easier to detect or whatever, but is our cancer problem getting larger?
It's actually reduced by about 1/10 for the men and about
that's
1/8
great.
for the women per year over the last 10 to 12 years.
Now, is that because of early detection or
Yes.
better care, that kind of thing?
Yes. It's about 1 in every 4 men or women, are diagnosed with cancer. And then about 1 in every 3 men have been diagnosed with cancer. But the death rates are what's dropped.
Right.
And it's the early detection, it's the treatments that they now have significantly improved, and that's basically why they've dropped.
Okay, I'm afraid we've run out of time. I mean, there were so many more things I wanted to ask. Your passion and everything else. I mean, you're just so great at what you're doing, Benay, and I really want to thank you for all of that. So thank you for being with us today.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me share.
All right, thank you. Well, my name is Bob Taylor. I've been your guest host for this segment of OurVentura TV. I've been here today with my guest, Benay Cain, from American Cancer Society, talking Relay for Life. Thank you very much.